You've probably heard this about wine, but for whiskey, does whiskey need to breathe? What I mean by this is as you open a new whiskey or you pour a whiskey into a glass for the first time, should you wait a handful of minutes before taking that first sip? Will anything change? The answer is maybe. If you've had a whiskey open for a long time, you've already poured it who knows how many times, you're probably going to be okay. You can just pour that glass and start to enjoy it right away. However, if you have a relatively new whiskey, a whiskey which is pretty close or filled up to the neck, and you're going to be pouring it for the first time, this might be worth pouring and waiting a few minutes. It blew my mind to see that as I was tasting this whiskey, and the more time, not water, but the more time I allowed for this to open up, the more the effects changed and the more I was able to enjoy and really take advantage of that whiskey. Now, don't forget and keep in mind, this tends to be a larger issue when you are specifically talking about sherry whiskeys, and not such a big issue when you're talking about bourbons or other types of whiskey aged in other materials. Could this have something to do with the sherry that's still left within the barrel? Maybe, but it's something to look out for. So, if you are opening a whiskey for the first time, there's not a lot of air in the bottle, and it's got sherry, might be worth sitting around and waiting for a couple minutes before you take that first sip.